Good afternoon. This is CJ with the GOAT Sports Talk. Of course, wanted to talk about the fight between Daniel Cormier and John Jones. As you know, it ended in a knockout by John Jones, and it was actually really the first knockout defeat, or really the first defeat by submission, or even a knockout for Daniel Cormier since the whole time he's been in the UFC. That tells me that John Jones is on another level. And even with the wrestling that that Daniel Cormier had, somewhat an advantage of. In the first fight, it just really didn't seem to be one. He just wasn't able to get any grappling done on him, and his for whatever reason, it just didn't work out for him. It looked good. He was very aggressive at times. He was trying to strike with him, but I think that he was throwing punches at times just to kind of keep, John Jones honest, mixing it up, having him worry about, probably taking a punch. And, I think the strategy that John Jones used was very well. I mean, at the end of the day, he's very long. He's just nothing but, limbs, it looks like. And he has those ability to just strike from distance. And the crazy thing about it is that the strike was actually very up close. It was an up close strike. It was with the left leg. It stunned Daniel Cormier, and at that point, it was pretty much over for him. At that point, he just stumbled around the ring, and we know how it ended up with him being pummeled with pretty much the left fist and elbow, and it was pretty much over. Now, at this point, does that mean that it's over for Daniel Cormier? I don't believe so. For one, there's other fights that he could have as for the next couple of years. Maybe who knows when he's going to retire, but he definitely still has some fight left in him. He's definitely still the second best lightweight, in the world right now. So at the end of the day, I don't think he should necessarily retire, or, if he feels like he can still fight. Ultimately, he wants to be a champion. He wants that belt. And I think that from that perspective, that may be a tough thing for him to continue on. And I think that's what he was pondering after the loss, was where does he go from there? Because it's obvious that he cannot beat, at this point, John Jones, and this is 2 times in a row. Like he said, is it considered, it's not a rivalry if someone beats you twice. How is it a rivalry? So this obviously is a guy he just cannot beat. Many guys have fallen to John Jones, and, a lot of people speculated that, he was on steroids before, and that was the reason why he was able to win. I knew that was not going to be a difference in this fight. I think if anything, it would have just been the adjustments that DC was able to make in the next fight, which it really didn't matter because whatever adjustments he made, it just was taken away, by one kick. And that's basically the sport of fighting. At the end of the day, it's a lot of people are going to have problems with watching, these fights because of the, concussions, brutality, the health thing. I, for one, I think that, boxing has, a long storied history and has shown itself to be a bit safer. And for a guy the age of Daniel Cormier, I just don't think it's good to continue going on. Now, granted, he's never taken much punishment, so we'll see. You got Overeem, who's lost by knockout submission 15 times, and he's still going, or he's still trying to fight. So you got fighters that continue going. I just think that, if he's made enough money, the skill and expertise that this guy has, as far as Daniel Cormier, he can definitely have his own school and teach a lot of people and make good money for the rest of his life, with his expertise and skill. It's just that at this time, in the time of John Jones, it's just, I don't think there's going to be anybody in the lightweight circle that can beat him. It's literally going to have to be one of those, those small chances of being able to catch him off guard and defeat him, at this particular point. And he's only getting better. And he looked very sharp. He didn't look like he had any rust. And, he's just showed himself to be a champion, man. And he got it back. And now who's next? He's trying to fight Brock Lesnar, which to me, Brock Lesnar, that fight could be interesting. Just from a pay-per-view standpoint, I think people would watch it. A smaller, very skilled guy going up against a very big, strong heavyweight. It's not like he's fighting, the best of that division, but it would make for an interesting fight if they were to do it. And I think there is something in that. Now, I think that everything that will be happening will be based on other things. Even you got the USADA situation. It's going to be like another 6 months, I think, according to Dana White before there would any be even a thought about a fight like that even coming to fruition. So I expect John Jones to fight the next contender, whoever that may be, and to basically they're going to probably try and build up somebody that will maybe look to be a solid contender for him. Because I don't think that he should move up into the heavyweight division unless he feels that he could be there, full time. There, I don't believe he should go back and forth between the two divisions, considering that you really would want to be around 230 to 240 at least in that division. And I just don't think it just makes any sense for him to try and put up, 25 more pounds on his body, after, and try and compete and go back and forth unless he plans on going there full time. So unless he plans, and now he has a big frame. One thing about John Jones, he does have a big frame. If you look at his brothers that play in the NFL, they're very big guys, so he can probably put on some muscle, no doubt about it, and probably be able to get at that level. But I just don't know how that would work with how that would affect his speed as well, because weight does affect speed at times. Especially there's a certain limit that sometimes someone can go before they start losing some speed and some power at their weight division. So it'll be interesting to see. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out.